All right. Welcome, everybody. Hey, it was the Friday before Christmas, and across every grid, regardless of age, all hams were giddy as kids. It was 9 p.m. in the Lone Star State, and the chat was rambunctious. We best not be late. Don't be afraid, folks. That's all there is. Hey, welcome, folks. The pre-Christmas stream. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're all ready for Santa, especially since you're here hanging out with me and the rest of the chat crew. I really didn't know what to expect tonight. I know lots of folks have holiday activities going on this close to Christmas, and, we'll see. We'll just charge on with those that show up. I don't know that will go quite as long as we did last week. That was a marathon, but you never know. I didn't expect to go that long last week either. Let's see here. Hank, welcome. Some folks I hadn't seen in the early chat. 45, welcome. Let's see. Sean, thanks for the preemptive 2 thumbs up. Appreciate that. All right, Gray Man. Hey, I needed you earlier, Tim. I didn't have to do a factory reset, but I needed to do a restart. And I can't do that now without thinking of Tim. Yeah, 45, boy. You're getting down to the wire, buddy. I didn't know that I could go 2 stanzas of Christmas poetry, so that's about the extent of it right there. All right. Well, like I said, I have no idea how long we're going to go tonight. That's kind of the way it goes. It kind of feels like an earlier night to me, but maybe I'm just tired. But speaking of last week, I do have some follow-up work yet to do. I still have to put together my cheat sheet for the low BBS. I'm still going to do that. And I still have to put together my instructions for the MQTT server. I did do a little bit of work on that, and it's ready to go. I just need to put some communication together and get that sent out to folks. Just a little bit behind the 8 ball with the end of the year work stuff and the holiday stuff. You guys know how all that stuff goes. But I am curious though, did anyone else give the low BBS a try between today and last Friday? I'm curious if anybody else got it going. And let me see, I'm going to look back through chat here. I saw somebody mention something about their TinyGS, but it kind of zipped by and I missed it. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. EOD. Filter killed the reception. Interesting. I'll be curious. I'll be curious which filter you were using and which one knocked you out. We hadn't looked in a couple of weeks. Let me just show you guys how my TinyGS is doing after I got it running again. Let me just find it here real quick, pull it up, and hopefully see if I can beat the ping. Come on. Oh, daggone it, I didn't beat the ping. Sorry, gang. This website can be a little slow. All right, let me swap on over here. Let's see. I've been doing pretty well. I've been doing, fairly consistent, somewhere between 6 and, sometimes a little bit more. This one almost 800. Today was a little bit off. I guess it just depends on, you know, how many footprints you hit. And some days are better than other in terms of the number of bad packets that you get. I mean, you can see here, whatever this guy was, that Horizon, boy, I got a ton of bad packets on that guy. But yeah, I'd be curious, Tim, to learn which filter you were having trouble with. I also had seen, I don't know if Eric's going to be joining us tonight. I hope he does. I saw he has had a number of issues with TinyGS as well. I saw him posting a bunch of stuff on X. I didn't have a chance to really look into the issues he was having too deeply, but I think it had to do with his location being off, something like that. But Brian, welcome to the Sprite Blitters. Hey, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. It's always nice to get some new folks added to the channel membership. Thank you. Thank you. It's very helpful. Very helpful. Hank, you've been, you're a 3-year vet. Nice. Nice. I'm curious, Hank, if you've tried a number of configurations or if you've just set it up and kind of let it roll with your initial setup. We'll have to get into some of that stuff. We'll have some time, certainly. But let me hit just, let me see where I'm at. Let me hit some of these quick housekeeping things. The community list. Hey, I hit 4,504 subscribers. One of the channels I used to watch a lot a few years ago was a guy up in Oklahoma here. He was a fairly small channel at the time. I don't know if you guys know who Arms Family Homestead is, Daniel Arms. But, you know, super nice family, just kind of a lifestyle YouTube channel. Man, I mean, they've exploded. I don't even know now. But one of his buddies, who also had a YouTube channel, every time he would talk about subscribers, he would always pronounce it as subscribers. And that's stuck, like Trina and I to this day. Whenever we say subscribers, we always say subscribers just because of that guy. Oh, let's see. Set up and ran with it. Yeah, that's good. I'm wondering, Hank, I wonder if you are under your call sign. Let me just see if I can find you. I'm curious. Yeah, there you are. Here, let me swap back over. Yeah, here's Hank's console right here. Yeah, he's got kind of all kinds of variation there. And look, 3 years ago, dang, a 3-year vet, 42,000 confirmed packets. Nice work. Nice work. It's always kind of fun to see, you know, what other folks are doing with that type of thing. But anyhow, back to the community list. Like I said, we just hit 4,500 subscribers, and we're 500 away from a 5,000 subscriber channel giveaway. So looking forward to that. But you got to be signed up. You got to be part of the community list. And right there's the URL if you want to join the community list. I used to send out a newsletter. I say that kind of jokingly because I haven't sent one out in maybe over a month, maybe 6 weeks. But every now and then I'll send out a newsletter, try to keep you guys informed on what's going on. It's been, you know, usually when I send those things out, they're packed with kind of a bunch of activities that are coming up. And, you know, we're kind of in that quiet time, that ham radio quiet time after Huntsville, when things kind of slow down from a travel perspective for me. And, man, that'll all be kicking up again here real soon. Right before you know it, it's going to be time to go to Florida, time to go to Orlando. So looking forward to that. And then that just kicks off the avalanche. And certainly there's more communication during those times when there's lots of activities going on. So looking forward to that stuff coming up. But sign up to the community list if you're not already there. And then also check out my links page. And this is where I've got all kinds of links for coupon codes, discount codes, t-shirts, bumper stickers, Amazon store, all the kind of things that, you know, are kind of designed to hopefully give you guys a little bit of value and give you guys an opportunity to help support the channel if that's something you're able and interested in. But check those things out. And I think we're going to start. Let me see here. I think we'll start with, I think we're ready for some this and that. We're going to go ahead and jump right into things here. All right. So, few things, and these probably are not in the right order. I didn't get around to putting these things in any type of order. But one of the things I saw come across one of the radio-related news wires is the ARDC launching a new portal to make it easier to get signed up for 44net. Now, this is something I've been interested in for a while, and I got super interested in it when our good buddy Bill, who's in the chat, was showing off his 44net config at Dayton last year. And it was pretty cool how he was able to set up a remote VPN device to get access to his home shack and do some other things. And, you know, this is a free capability provided to all hams by the ARDC. So what we're going to do tonight as part of the downlink, or as the downlink, is I'm going to walk through signing up for this. So we're going to walk through this brand new portal that they just created, and I'm going to sign up and request an account, request some IPs, and we'll do that together so that you guys can see how that works. If it's something that you're interested in, you know, sometimes it's just easier if you watch somebody else do it. So, you know, that's what we're going to do. We'll do that as our downlink. And hey, we're going to go slow enough so that if you want to do it right along with me, feel free, right? We can get a bunch of people signed up, and you can do some pretty cool things with this free service provided by the ARDC. So we'll talk some more about that. But, you know, that little news article there kind of alerted me to that, and kind of got me, gave me the kick in the butt that I needed to get that moving. So let's see here. I just have a few things. I don't have a ton of things to hit tonight. Oh, goodness. I wanted to hit this thing first, but I don't know what in the heck I was doing, but we can hit it now. Yeah. My little cartoon had, I don't know if you guys noticed, I don't even know if you guys pay attention to that thing. But this week, Santa was on the radio. Santa had his headset on, and he was on the radio. And I just wanted to remind folks, you still have a couple of days for SantaNet. So if you've got some kids in the family or in the neighborhood that you've been looking for a way to introduce them to radio or show off radio or just do something fun, right? Just to get the excitement level up. Don't forget about SantaNet, right? So on 80 meters starting at 7 Central, and the kids can talk to Santa. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. All right, let's see what else I've got to share. Oh yeah, I'll share this. This is cool. I thought this was cool. NASA has, they've launched their 2026 science calendar. So this is something I always catches my eye. Well, when I see it, it catches my eye. I don't catch it every year. I don't know how many years they've been doing it, but you can go buy the calendar if you want. Let's see. Yeah, you can purchase it at the government bookstore, and it used to be like, I don't know, $8-9, something like that. Let's see. $10. All right. So, most of the calendars that I see are $20. So that's a bargain. But I don't usually get my hands on the paper or hard copy. What I like to do is they always have the images from the calendar available. And they always have some fantastic images. And so you can download these. There's a few different ways, formats to download them. Look at that. That's just crazy. That is just crazy. So some pretty cool stuff. Tells you a little bit about each of them. Here you can download. Here, let me show you guys. Let me see. Do I have this set up? Oh boy, do I not have this set up? Let's see. Show you what it looks like on the phone. Here, I'll show you this one. This will do. Right, so they got some wallpapers and stuff, right? They look pretty cool. Little busy, but still pretty cool. I think it's cool stuff. So go check that out if that's something you're interested in. Get yourself the $10 paper calendar if you need a calendar. Some neat stuff. All right, let's see here. I'm losing the chat already. Let's see here. I had some questions. Let me hit some of these here. Cooley, you caught my attention there. Let's see. Bill says I don't show off. You were showing off, buddy. You were the only guy with some usable internet in the whole place. Let's see if they change it to 45 net. Nice. Let's see. Where'd I see? I saw Cooley had a great question. Am I still waiting on the thingy for the rotator? Yes, I am. And I called Yaesu today. You want to talk about, I think I've told you guys, this is like the third time I've had to call Yaesu with some sort of question related to the G5500. But, I bought and it's a G5500 separation kit. And I bought the separation kit from Ham Radio Outlet, the one here in Texas, in Plano. And, they sell it. DX Engineering sells it. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere else. I'll bet you Gigaparts sells it. And, it's all the same price. It's, $69 or something for like 30 pieces of hardware, nuts, bolts, washers, etc. And, those guys keep telling me, hey, look, it's going to be direct shipped from Yaesu. We don't have any further information on it. You got to call Yaesu. – Well, usually when I think about this during the afternoon, where I actually have a window to call them. That window evaporates after I talk to the HRO guys, and I don't have a chance to get back and call the Yaesu folks in California. But today, as it would be, I had some extra time on my hands. So I dialed those guys up. I talked to the parts department, and they were just befuddled. They were just completely befuddled. And I say there was one very nice woman that I spoke to. She was very polite, very nice. I told her the situation. I said, hey, I bought this separation kit. I was told it would ship directly from the California office. And I've been waiting for 3 months for this thing, and I'm just trying to figure out what in the heck's going on. And she says, well, hold on just a second. Let me go see, we've got, and you guys, I think, are aware of this. We've got one person that deals with rotators here. Let me go see if I can find out what's going on. Right? They've got one rotator person. So after a minute or so, I'm on hold. She comes back and she says, yeah, we're really confused. We don't sell a separation kit. We'll sell those individual parts, but we don't think we sell a separation kit. Well, I said, hey, look, I've got an invoice here. It's got a part number on it. It's got a Yaesu part number on it. And, there's a whole bunch of national retailers out there that say you guys sell this, right? They've got it on their websites. They've got it in their catalog. And, she just didn't know what to say. She's like, well, why don't I give you the name of our manager? And when our manager comes back in, we'll have the manager give you a call, or, here's the sorry, I had a squirrel there. Here's the email address for the manager. You have to talk to the manager. So, here I am 3 months in, $70 on the credit card, waiting for something that Yaesu doesn't think they sell. So go figure that. So we're going to have to, wait and see, where that's going to go. And I'm sure at this point I'll have to try to reach out to them on Monday. Wes, welcome. So that's a long story there, Cooley, but yes, I'm still waiting on the thingy for the rotator, and boy, I'm not feeling good about it. Did Tina, Bill, whenever you call in, you get the phone tree. I went straight to parts. And so I don't know, maybe that was my mistake. Maybe I should have went to sales, but I went to parts. It was a woman who answered, but I didn't catch her name. All right. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? Brian, I've called Yaesu in California twice. Just let it ring and ring, and they finally answer. Yeah, it's always a less than satisfying experience. We'll just leave it at that. No kidding, Bill. That's interesting. Well, I'll be calling back Monday. I'll check in with Tina for you. Oh, I know. It's a wonky thing, but because they're saying it's a direct ship, and I just can't get anybody in the store to reach out to Yaesu. I don't know what the deal is. Well, they're probably tired of getting the same less than satisfying answers that I got. All right. Well, let's see. We'll move on from that squirrel. What else do I have to share with you guys? So we talked about We talked about, oh, I know what I've got here. This is just a fun little item. So, Eris had put out a cool little video earlier this month. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I just came across this, but they put out a cool little video that talks about the school contacts that they do with the astronauts. And it's a quick video, but it's kind of cool to see. And there's one, I'm not going to play the whole video. I'm going to play this one little clip here. You can see it's only a 4 minute, 3 minutes, 43 seconds. Go watch this thing. It's a good little watch. But what I want you to pay attention to, and I got the biggest kick out of this. Watch his face as he hears, this is, the context here is they're talking about waiting to make contact with the school. And I just love, I mean, he's fighting back a smile, right? You can just tell this is pretty cool for those guys, just like it's cool for us. So let me just play this for you guys.
November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra. This is Alpha Bravo 1 Oscar Charlie for a scheduled contact. Over.
Alpha Bravo 1 Oscar Charlie, November Alpha 1 SS, loud and clear. Decided we would make this contact.
I got a kick out of that little bit of a held back smile. I know I get that smile every time I hear the astronaut on the radio. It's cool to know that they get that smile as well. What do you need the separation system for? So Eric, I'm using the Carlson roof tower for my ground station. And the way that roof tower is designed is you separate the Azel rotators. One of them goes in the base, one of them goes on top. So that's really the way it's designed to work. Maybe you could just throw them both on top, but you know, I'm trying to do it the way that they tell you should do it. And, you know, you got to have that separation kit. And there's no super magic to that thing. It's a bunch of metric pieces, right? It's a bunch of metric bolts. I mean, everything's galvanized. You know, maybe you can find the same thing if you drive around to a dozen places and look for it. That's probably what I should have done at this point. But, you know, at some level, it's like, I've decided I'm just going to become, an irritant. You know, it's like, hey, you sell this thing. You took my money. I want it. So send me the doggone thing. But, yeah, so it's some clamps. You know, actually, while we're here, I'm curious if Gigapart sells it. I know HRO does. All right, we're going to see G5500 separation kit. Let's see. Of course, it doesn't look like they sell it. But let's go to ham or radio outlet. Here's the separation kit. Right, so $70. Now they're showing out of stock. Delivery will be delayed. But here you can see what's in the kit. Now, what I'm going to be curious about, let's see what the manufacturer's website says. Oh, it's just a general. What I'm curious is if they've got all the parts. I mean, I bought the kit. Just put all the parts in a box for me. Come on, Tina. Send them out. Hey, Ronnie. Yeah, that's the old. I've tried to talk to people using this part number, trying to use this SEP kit number. Yeah, it's frustrating. Frustrating to no end. All right. The downlink. Yeah, you got it, Brian. So what we're going to talk about here is this new portal. And, you know, Bill, thanks for being here tonight. I should have reached out to you earlier to see if you could have joined me, because you've been through this process, and I'm assuming, right, it sounds like this is a brand new website. I'm curious how this is going to compare. Oh, Frank just sent me something. Let me see. Did Frank find something that I missed? Let me see. Oh, they did have it at Gigaparts. Let me see. Just curious. Oh, wow. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me open this. Show you guys what Frank had found on the Gigaparts site. Look at that skew. That's what caught my eye. Like, holy crap, what the heck is that? And they say they're not accepting back orders, but here you get the same kind of list. Oh, look at this. Do not order this kit. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm definitely now I'm on a crusade. Now I'm on a crusade. You know, dumb stuff just drives me nuts. Dumb stuff drives me nuts. All right, I got to get off that, or else I'm gonna start going down a bad path. All right. I'll recruit Freddie Mac, but Freddie's too nice, so I need we need a warthog. I don't know who's our warthog. Who's our community warthog? Freddie's way too nice. HRO says the same thing. Yep. But 3 months ago, whenever I ordered it, they were happy to take my money. Frank thinks that Dawn's our warthog. All right. But back to this here. So, Bill, you're going to have to chime in and let me know if this looks easier, better than the experience that you had. So, I had, well, let's see this, they're doing a little bit of marketing up here. This is good. Experienced lightning fast WireGuard tunnels, enterprise grade BGP routing, 44 net integration, built for the modern ham. All right. So let's see, you can host a Raspberry Pi. So, you know, one of the big benefits, the primary benefit, I think, of signing up for this is they will allocate to you right? They're not giving it to you, they're lending it to you. As long as you're a good steward of it, I think they're happy to let people have it for as long as they are showing useful need of it. But they will give you anywhere from a single IP, and this is a public IP. So anywhere from a single IP to, I saw somewhere where they even talked about requesting a /16, right? 256 IPs. So if you have if you can demonstrate the need, they will give you public IP space. As long as it's ham radio related, they will give you the public IP space to be able to host or implement your ham radio related project, right? And that's pretty cool. For those of you who might not be close to, the whole idea of public-facing IPs and all that type of thing, right? IPv4, version 4 of the IP space, which is what still probably 95% of the internet works on, everything except for cell phones and a few other things, is, it's a finite resource. It's drastically, it's drastically deployed at this point. It's very difficult to obtain a block of public IP. Certainly anything like a Class C, or, you can get fractional blocks. But, to do that, there's a process you have to go through. There is a fee that you have to pay annually to maintain that block of IPs. And, for a lot of people, that's just outside the realm of making sense. If you're experimenting and, needing to be on the internet, but trying to do it without it, hitting the bank account. So the fact, and, this is really intended. Everything that they talk about is that this is for ham radio experimentation. And so that really, that's a wide open barn door, right? That could be just about anything. But some of the things you can do with this is, you can set up a portable VPN device, like I was talking about, that Bill had set up. That gives him a public IP address that he can use to do many different things with. You can host your own web page, your own, ham radio related web page with that IP address. There's just lots of things you can do with that. And so, we're going to sign up for it. I'm going to get an account. I don't know what I probably want more than just one IP. I'm curious, Bill, how many IPs you get? Did you get, /16 is 65,000. Yes. Sorry if I misspoke there. /24 is what I was thinking of for the 256. But I'm curious, Bill, whenever you signed up, what did they give you? Was it a /32 with just a single IP, or did they give you something like /29? Drop that in the chat if you remember. All right, let's see. What am I drinking? I am drinking Cherry Limeade Ghost Energy. This is one of my favorite Ghost Energies. I like most of the fruit related ones. I don't like the Sour Patch Kids, and I do like the America red, white, and blue popsicle flavor, though. It does taste just like those old popsicles, those Rocket Pops. But yeah, it's good stuff. No sugar. It's a no sugar energy drink. No artificial colors, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Part of it depends on what's available in your state. I did see that they do have their space broken up with some definitions of states. Now, they also have some service blocks as well, right? So they have different CIDR blocks, and CIDR is, just a term that you use to describe a contiguous block of IP space. They have different CIDR blocks for states, and if I'm not mistaken, they also have different CIDR blocks for different services. It is the blah, blah, blah that gets you. That is true. Yep, you got it, Gray Man. Gray Man knows. Yes. Yeah, I don't think 44net is at risk of running out anytime soon. So even after they sold, I don't know how many millions of addresses to Amazon and likely some others. But anyhow, right? So you guys have seen this a little bit, right? There's a few different ways that you can do the configuration. You can set up VPN tunnels. You can set up, and that's what they're talking about here, a WireGuard based tunnel. If you have somebody that will let you broadcast an ASN, you can set up BGP routing. And we're not going to get into some of the more technical things. I mean, we can talk about them a little bit if folks want to, but I also don't want to leave some folks behind in the discussion here. But certainly we can go as deep as folks want to go. So lots of cool stuff. So what makes this special? Living, breathing experiment in modern amateur radio networking. Hey, one of the other things I saw that a lot of folks are using this for is some digital radio gateways. So maybe we should look at this. So how do I know some of these things? What do I mean whenever I say that? I've been looking at their wiki, right? So they have a lot of documentation out here. I mean, you can learn about the whole history of 44net. I mean, there's a ton of stuff out here. And there's some quick start guides if you don't care so much about all the history. We're going to skip much of the history here tonight. We're just going to be talking about, hey, get me signed up. And then in a future late shift, we'll actually set up some services and take advantage of, I don't know how long it takes. I don't know if this is like an automated thing. If you submit your request and it's, auto fulfilled, if they've got automation, and maybe it depends on what service you're telling them you're standing up, right? And the number of IPs you need. I could see where maybe they do a really small IP distribution in an automated fashion, and then if it goes to a certain size, it maybe needs a human review. I don't know. We're going to find out. Let's see. They got a metric ton. They do have a metric ton. They got a lot of IPs. Hillbilly says, I use mine for getting D-Star gateway past CGNet. Nice. Until they got some better internet. Yeah. That's certainly one of the use cases. If you've got one of those wireless type internet providers, whether it's a cellular based internet provider. Now I'm curious. I'm wondering if they have. I wonder if they have instruction or like a little run book for using this with Starlink. I know a lot of people have expressed some frustration with the way that Starlink handles addressing. But that might be, maybe we'll learn that along the way here. Maybe some of you guys have already investigated that. With mine, the state rep reached out. Okay. Yeah, I did see something in here where they mentioned there are regional, kind of like regional points of contact. Let's see here. They've got a quick start guide. We're just going to walk through the portal. I'm just trying to remember if there's anything in here that I really think is worth showing off here. This was a little bit of a bummer. I saw this and I thought, oh, this could be fun. Getting started with Linux and packet radio. And the first couple that I tried, the links were dead. Oh, that one came up. I don't think that came up earlier. So that's interesting. Some of them, yeah, I know that one was dead whenever I tried to pull it up. Now, the other thing, too, that they talk about a little bit is that they have some HF or RF connections into the 44net as well. I'd like to learn more about that. I hadn't really come across that. What's this mailing list? Linux hams. I guess every single topic you can imagine. All right, we're not going to get hung up in that right now. All right, so let's just let's start walking through this and see what it looks like. All right, so, and I'm assuming they're going to ask for, a certain amount of personal information here, some basics, I would expect. Looks like they do have some mandatory fields. We'll be setting up a username and a password. I do believe, let me, maybe this was it. Yeah, so Rebecca Key, and many of you may know Rebecca. She oftentimes mans the ARDC booth at the big ham fests. She is a great resource, fantastic person. If you guys do not know Rebecca, go introduce yourself to her at the next ham fest. Go look for that ARDC booth. Looks like she's put together the full guide for us here. Attaway, nice work. Rebecca also, she does some POTA videos, and if I recall, maybe she's got a pretty decent Instagram as well. So check those out. Do a search for her call, and you guys will find some of her socials out there. She does some good work out there. But anyhow, here I'm just curious if they want the call sign as your username. Well, that was the login, so maybe I'm jumping ahead. Let's see. Let's go to the register button instead. All right, what should we call you? Call me Rob, that's fine. All right, when a form appears, okay, you get some help. That's nice. Okay. Let's see here. So you guys can see what they're looking for. And what I'm going to do here while, let's see, I need some sort of, let's see, what would be fun? we'll just you guys can watch Santa Claus whenever I have to put in personal details. How about that? We'll do something like that. Let's see. We'll get this guy. I want to keep him handy. And we'll put Santa up. I'll go ahead and put in my personal details here. And there's nothing tricky here by any stretch. It's all pretty straightforward stuff. Oh, they want at least a 12-character password. Goodness, let's see. All right, so that seems to have worked. So let me put this back up here for you guys. All right. So you can see they got your name. They want your email address. And here's our end user. Here's our EULA, our end user license agreement. I know I'm weird. I like to look at these just to see what's going on, especially when something is, quote, free. You know what they say, if something's free, then you're the product. Let's see. License to use the service. You can access AmperNet and associated services. There's DNS. Looks like they're hosting their own DNS. Okay. Permitted uses. Only the user. They don't want you sharing out your credentials. Prohibited uses. Let's see what this is. User agrees not to use the services for commercial purposes. That makes sense. Anyway, it's going to violate law. That makes sense. Exploiting or harming minors. That makes sense. Impersonate or attempt to impersonate ARDC. Let's see. Engage in in any other conduct that gets in the way of somebody else using the service. That's all pretty standard stuff. Agrees not to, right? Don't overtax the system. Don't use something that's going to interfere, that's knowingly going to interfere with the service. I mean, this is all pretty standard stuff. I don't know if you guys have ever looked at this stuff. Don't you introduce any viruses, Trojans, worms, or logic bombs. All right. Letter of authorization. Okay, that makes sense. Right. A lot of times if you're going to be, if someone is going to be advertising, if you're setting up BGP and someone's going to be advertising an ASN for you, they're going to want a letter from the person who owns the address space. All right. So, hey, you got to keep these guys up to date with your email address, your call sign changes. Okay. Got to follow the code of conduct. I wonder if they linked the code of conduct. Did we just talk? Oh, those were prohibited. Let's see. Sub-users. Unless a sub-user has accepted the terms and completed a setup themselves. Interesting. The user agrees to assume responsibility and liability. So on one hand, they don't want you to share your credentials, but it looks like you're able to set up sub-users of some sort. Let's see. Maybe if you're sharing your connection in some way. Bill, I may have been a sub-user to your use of the system back at Hamvention. Term and termination. ARDC can terminate it at any time. It's ARDC's IP. Okay, I mean, this all looks pretty reasonable. Government cooperation, blah. Let's see. Any cause of action or claim that the user may have arising out of or relating to the EULA services must be commenced within 1 year. Interesting. They're kind of establishing a I wonder if that goes both ways, right? Let's see. I'm always curious where jurisdiction and governing law is. So much of that stuff is set in Delaware. A lot of it moving to Texas these days. But these guys are actually using California. That's interesting, surprising a little bit. No assignment. It's a binding agreement. Oh, I am 18 years of age or older. That's a bummer. I mean, I get it because you're signing an agreement, but that leaves our young hams out of the mix. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I accept. Okay. They're going to supposedly send me an email. We'll see how long that takes. We'll keep an eye on that and see if it pops in. Let me catch up with the chat here. Okay, let's see. I don't believe it's US only, Colin. If I am not mistaken, I had seen somewhere where they list their points of presence, and one of them is in Europe. Let's see. Do one of these go to their point of presence? If I recall, they have 3 points of presence. One's in Texas. Yeah, no wonder I remember that one. One's in Canada, and I believe one was in Germany. Let's see. This is where we were. I had seen it someplace. I'm almost positive. Maybe we'll come across it. I'm just taking a quick note. Yeah, I'm almost positive they've got point of presence in Germany. This will be a real bummer if this email has to get touched by a human. I'm just checking all of my spam. Ah, it went to spam. All right, so let me take a look here. So if it went to spam, I'm guessing they don't have something set up right on their email server. This is the kind of thing that I'm always interested in. I'm sorry, this is all kind of nerdy stuff, but usually if somebody's email goes to your spam folder, they generally don't have DMARC set up, or they don't have everything set up the way they should. But this looks pretty good. Couple warnings. That shouldn't cause any delivery issues. I don't see anything that would cause a delivery issue. So, interesting. All right. Let's see. This is an automated email. Let me see if I can. Let me show this to you guys. Let me do a swap over. Is anybody out there trying to work their way through this at the same time? All right, this is an automated email. All you got to do is click here to verify your email. Oh, they got their logo there. See that? It went to spam. Interesting. Interesting. All right, let me, I want to click on it here because I'm guessing, I want to click on it on the desktop. First, I got to move it to my inbox to click on it. There we go. Okay. Please do check the link before clicking. Oh, I think somebody's spoofing their email. Boy, these guys will freak somebody out. All right, so I'm going to bring this back up into here. All right, and I successfully verified my email. Okay. I don't know what their behavior is on their login screen, so All right. So log in with ARDC portal. 44net Connect is requesting permission. This application will be able to authenticate, view my profile, my email address, my physical address, my phone number, my call sign. I don't think they asked for my phone number. It sounds odd, doesn't it? 44net Connect. What was I in before? Just sounds a little odd. Cooley, thanks for hanging out, buddy. Have a Merry Christmas. If I don't talk to you, we'll see you next time. All right, let's keep on moving. Okay, please complete the call sign validation before logging in. Okay. Maybe, did I miss that somewhere? I don't know that I did. Let's look at Rebecca's instructions here. So that's all the stuff I put in. I had to read the EULA. We looked at that. It says verify your email. We went to the login. From there, you'll be prompted to click continue registration. We didn't get that. We did not get that. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I wonder how I get back to that spot. Let me try to log in again. See if it gives me that. Well, that's really interesting. Let me show you what I mean. So it says no verified call sign. Please complete call sign validation before logging in. Okay. How do I get there? I don't see anything here. Let's see. Is there a menu up here that's blocked by some of my stuff? Doesn't look like it. I don't see a menu. Okay, let's start the create your account workflow again. Create a portal account, verify your email. Get your amateur radio call sign verified through the portal. Okay. What's this say? All right, I don't have the... Oh, this feels like... All right, let me try something else. I'm going to go through the verification again. Let's see, I got another email. You've received a new notification. Here's your message. Your account was logged into. Well, that doesn't do me any good. That didn't go to spam this time, though, so that's good. I'm just checking to see if I have another email. I don't. Okay, I'm going to try to resend a verification email. See if I get something different. Oh, well, heck, how do I, okay. How do I get that up here? I guess I can't. All right, let me flop this back over. So when I tried to do the email verification again, it started me into the workflow again. And now I got this little, please continue with your registration. So it looks like I've got to close, continue with the registration. Okay. Let me, see. Yeah, so here, let me give you guys a look at what this requires. And then I'll fill it in. Okay, they want your, here's where they ask for your cell phone number. It doesn't look like it's a required field though. Once your Maidenhead looks out to 6 characters, your address. So that looks like the additional information that they're looking for. So I'll fill this in real quick. It's interesting. They don't ask for your state. They ask for your city. They ask for your zip code. They ask for your grid square. They don't care about your state. So they must be calculating that or figuring that out from your grid square, I'm guessing. But that wouldn't necessarily be definitive. Seems interesting that they don't want your state. Okay, I'm going to agree to the terms and conditions, and I'm going to continue. Address must be at least 16 characters, but what if it's not? So that's kind of interesting. Okay, registration complete. Thanks for completing the registration process. So now, let me see if I'm able to log in here on screen. Okay, we're going to do a login. No verified call sign found. Well, I just gave you that stuff. I'm wondering if it's checking it against the ULS. Let me do a reload here. I mean, it's curious. It must have cached who I am. Let me see if I got another email. Got another login email. Okay. Let me just check in with you guys. Is anybody else here walking through this? I'm curious if anybody else is running into the same thing I am. Just reading here to get caught up. Let's see here. Trying to see if I'm getting any other. Now that's really odd. I was able to log in on my phone. What? That's kind of funky. There's something that's just a little funky there. You see that I just changed to the portal address and then boom, all of a sudden I'm logged in. Using Tailscale is a whole lot easier. Interesting. Please turn on two-factor. Okay, let's see if they're doing that. Let's see if that's app-based. It says it's the first time I've logged in. It's actually not. It's actually the third time I've logged in. That's just a little clunky. A little clunky. Well, let's see what's in here since we're in here. We're at the home. So we can set up two-factor here. LOT. I believe that's level of trust until they're able to verify you. Yeah. Cider. So this just looks like informational stuff under help. Okay, good to know it's there. World map. Let's see what this shows us. Hey, check this out, Colin. The map displays approximate location of all members. So I think you're safe. Let's see if we've got any over in your neck of the woods. Yeah. Looks like you should be able to get signed up. Let's see. Eric failed RS-44. Equipment issues and missed the first part of the pass. Second part of the pass worked, but no one on. Ugh. Bummer. Wes, are you, is this where you're, add a call sign. All right. Thank you, Wes. I don't know how many times you said that. I didn't put two and two together, though. I was expecting it to kind of direct me there. Registration's complete. Yeah, so you have to actually go looking for it. So look at me being all lazy and full of expectation. All right. Thanks for keeping after me there, Wes. Okay. If you're licensed, So I think you can enter up to 5 licenses, if I remember from my prior reading. So how do we verify? Let's see. If you wish to get the above call sign verified, tap Verify. This will create a ticket, and one of our team will process your request. I saw you say that as well, Wes. Thank you. That looks like it's going to have to go to a human. In order to save time, you can upload a copy of your amateur radio license right away, as this will almost certainly be requested from you otherwise. For U.S. members, this is your official watermarked licensed. Yeah. Okay, so I want verified. Okay. Now, how do I upload? You guys are going to laugh at me. But I just so happen to have a copy of my license right here. I've got it in electronic format on my machine as well. Let's see. So let's see if we can find the ticket. There's my ticket. Okay. And here I can upload my file. Let me go ahead and pull that down real quick. I'll give you guys Santa Claus. And let me add my license. All right, let's see. There we are. Okay. Add the file. Let me go ahead and bring this back up so you guys can see that. Okay. Okay. And we'll add the reply. Okay. All right, let's see. Tim was verified before he could find out where to upload it. That's interesting. Ticket information. Okay. Tim, were you doing it right now as we went? This all seems like a lot of work for a little bit of fun, but hey, we're nerds. That's right. Not the most intuitive registration I've ever done. Yeah, me either. I'm going to reach out to Rebecca and I'm going to point her to this part of the live stream so she can kind of see how I struggled through it. I think it could be a little more smooth. I mean, especially that log in, log out part, that was just funky. Did you guys have a similar type experience to that? I mean, I always reserve judgment a little bit because I know I've got all kinds of crap running on this machine. I've got multiple types of browsers open right now. So Tim's 3 steps ahead. Okay. So, they probably have somebody, some poor person on the help desk that's wondering why they're getting all these tickets all of a sudden. All right, so let's see here. So we've got our registration complete. I've already got my Maidenhead. All right, let me do all that. Profile update. Let's see. You will see the following message above the update your profile form. Go back to 10 where you'll be prompted to add your call sign. Verify. Did that, did that, did that, did that. Okay, requesting address space. Beginner-friendly steps. Let's see, I'm not sure if I'm able to request anything until I've been approved. I'm still not verified. Wes, did you get verified? Help desk is swamped. Okay. And it is, you're there, Tim. They're there, Tim. It's okay. All right, let's see. Well, I'm curious. We can set up a few other things while we're here, I guess. Notifications, maybe. Oh, I wonder if there are some notification types. There we go. I'm just kind of freeballing here, trying to see what's out there. Maybe it's in the profile. Let me take a peek here. Yeah, I don't see anything there. I was just looking in the profile. I wanted to see if I'm guessing, well, maybe they just, I mean, I guess, well, I didn't give them my phone number. I took it without my phone number. I'm guessing that you have options for SMS and email for notifications. Even with all this verification, couldn't you set up a random ham? Well, maybe. The one thing you wouldn't be able to get your hands on would be a copy of the license. I don't believe, right? You can go in and look at somebody's ULS information, but I don't think you can download the license. But it doesn't sound like Tim needed it. So let's see. If you go to networks, all IPv4, go to, where did you find networks? I'm just going to take a quick look here. Hey, my email's verified. Woo-woo. I still don't think we've got my call sign yet. Not verified yet. Address organizations. What's this? I guess I recall something briefly about organizations in the FAQ, but I didn't pay that close attention to it. So notifications, let's just look at one of these. So do you want here's methods. Maybe you just click on a method. Email, yes. SMS, okay. Okay. So then you can go down through, good golly. Profile updates, tickets. I mean, I think after you get through the initial setup, these things probably aren't that big of a nuisance. I'm going to just leave them as they are. What's the difference here between notifications and notification types? All right, so there's a lot of flexibility, it appears, from a notification standpoint. Okay. My public pages, what's this? If you have information you'd like to share with other members, nice. So it's like a little profile, public profile, I guess. Okay. And I guess this takes HTML, or is it just, it might just be this kind of pseudo formatting. Let's look at other people's public pages. Nope. Let's see. See you guys chatting away here. Let's see. Ranch addressing. I like it, Jason. So I'm just trying to get set up here, Chris. I want to get an account. I want to get an account set up here on 44net. I'm going to make a request for some IP space that I can use to set up a mobile VPN device that I can take on the road that will, and we can look at that here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. All right, it is a, what is it, GLI net travel router. Now I'll show you the one that I know works, because our friend Bill, Ham Radio Tectonics, had one working. I had actually, Bill has one of these configured with a 44net account and address that he's able to use as a portable VPN router. And there's different versions of these. But and the different versions get you on different wireless networks. This is the global version. This is the one you want. That's the one you want. However, before you guys go buy that, I want to see. So this one here is a 4G LTE. And that's the way a lot of these are. but they have started coming out with some 5G ones. I thought I'd seen one, a 5G one. And I wanted to look. This is one here that I had seen that looked like an updated version of one. This one's got a 7,000 milliamp hour battery built into it. This one also has a battery built into it. I don't think it's quite that big. Yeah, it's 5,000 milliamp hour. And if I'm not mistaken, Bill, please jump in here if you're still hanging. If I'm not mistaken, the Pulley is the one that was recommended to you by the ARDC folks. Let's see here. They swiped a /24 in Indiana for MMDVM. Nice. Pops Toronto, Dallas, and Frankfurt. Yeah, so I wasn't too far off. I couldn't remember the cities, but I remembered it being Germany, and I knew it was somewhere in Canada. What's the application use case for you? So one of the use cases, so there's a few things I want to play with, right? One of them that was pretty handy is this particular device here. Let's take a peek at it. Oh, if I'm not mistaken, this is this an AT&T device? Let's see. I think it was AT&T. Trying to see if I can spot it here. So I'm a Verizon user. Let's see. I'm just trying to see if it shows who this is. I'm almost positive this is AT&T. You've got a couple. Many come with Tailscale available to install. Bill, was yours a using an AT&T SIM? Yeah, so I do use Ubiquiti. I have the VPN set up for all my devices to come back to the house already. But when we were in Dayton, as you can imagine, and for those of you that have been there, you know, the cell signals are swamped. They are absolutely just overutilized during Hamvention. And so I was trying to do some stuff using my phone as a hotspot, which is Verizon. No bueno. Could not get it done. T-Mobile. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So ARDC couldn't get it done. Or ARDC, Verizon couldn't do anything. Just completely oversubscribed in that area. It was done. Somebody else, I think Jason had Jason had AT&T. We couldn't do anything on AT&T. Bill had his Pulley with his Cali SIM, which is on the T-Mobile network, and he was the only guy that had any bandwidth to speak of. I mean, it was it was a stark contrast. Bill turned that thing up. I think, I was connected to it. I think Jason or Frank was connected to it as well. And we'd actually just set it up. We were doing the final configuration, sitting at the picnic table, waiting for the storm to blow in. If you guys were at Dayton, you guys will recall that. But this device was the only thing that had any usable bandwidth, had any usable capability at all. So I'm looking to use it just as another option because I've got my phone on Verizon. I've got my truck, which I believe uses AT&T. And if I had this guy, then I would also have the option to go to T-Mobile. So I'd have kind of all of the major carriers covered. So that's one reason, right? It just gives me that extra option, gives me another option. The other aspect of it is, I'm a big fan of the ARDC. I want to be supportive of the things that they're doing. And they've got some interesting services that are available on 44net that, I'd like to experiment with. I'd like to play around with. It is definitely a cell network thing. Yeah, I believe that's exactly what it is. And that Kali X may be doing something special like the FirstNet, right? They may have a little bit of bandwidth carved out for that. But, again, I'd like to just have that as an option. And, it's a nice little package. This little device, it's, about the size of your cell phone. So it's not like it's, a hassle to carry. But, I was curious if this one here may be kind of the updated version to this one. I hadn't had a chance to look at them very closely, but I do want to look at that here this evening. So, part of it is, I want to take advantage of some of the capabilities of 44net. They have, and I don't know if this is still the case, Bill. I'm curious here. They have a 44net based, or they did a 44net only. So if you're not coming from 44net, you can't utilize the service. They've got a telnet based, so think IRC. They've got a telnet based chat for everybody that's on 44net, that you can use an IRC client for. So I thought that could be fun. I thought that would be interesting to see how much use that gets. A lot of this kind of feels like turning back the clock to the 90s, and what was going on the internet, in the early 90s, mid 90s. But they've got that, I think it's called WW Converse. Does that ring a bell, Bill? Yeah, so maybe we'll see if we can find some more information on this. This is some stuff I'd found in some research. The other thing that I thought was really interesting is that the 44net is kind of used as a backbone for a lot of kind of AllStar linking, Echo Link proxies, a bunch of stuff that I'd love to get into a little bit. And it's something that I think might be a little different wrinkle than what Freddie Mac's been doing with AllStar. So I think it'd be fun to drag him in and see what kind of benefit or advantage we could get out of using AllStar across 44net. So that's something I want to look into. Let's see if we can. Well, let me not get too squirrely here. I'm curious here. This guy here for Black Friday was down under $100. It was like, I think it was like maybe $94 or $95. I had shared it in one of my posts over Black Friday. It's one of the things I've got in my cart that I just keep pushing till later. And I saw that it was on sale, so I shared that with folks. But I've not pulled the trigger on it simply because this one here seemed like maybe it was a little bit of a newer version. But they call this one a gateway. They call this one a router. Makes me wonder, maybe there's some differences here. It has the same CPU, but this one has more battery. Looks like it's got the same amount of memory. This one's capable of 5G. But you're going to be limited, right? That's your Wi-Fi speed. You're going to be limited to your bandwidth. And it's probably not going to be higher if it's 4G LTE. See, this one doesn't say, oh yeah, it's 4G as well. This one actually looks like it's a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit thicker, and a little bit lighter. So maybe this is still the one to get. I just hadn't taken a close look at it yet. And they have 3 versions of this, at least 3 versions of this. Let's look at this real close for a second. And I'll share the link to this one on here. I'll put an affiliate link out there if anyone is looking to pick one of these up and play along. And if they want to support the channel in doing so. But there are 3 versions of this. And I asked Bill which one he had. And he had the, did I not copy that? I did. I'm going to go to the GLI net. I asked him which one he had, and he ended up, I think, with the best option. And let me show you what the differences are. And this may make a difference for some folks. They have 3 different versions, and the 3 versions work on 3 different networks. Why did I make this tough? Okay. Where do they talk about the versions? Did I miss it? There's one that works in North America, and I think it's North America and FirstNet, if I'm not mistaken. There's one that works in Asia. Why can't I find what I'm looking for? Let me go back. And there's one that they call the world version. And if you do any type of travel, that looks, that includes international, that looks like the winner. I want to make sure I'm on the right. Yeah, that's got to be, well, let's go to the shop now and we'll see maybe. Yeah, here we go. Gosh, that was a hard way to get there. So they've got a version that's a global version, US, EU, UK, AU. Right? That I think is the one you want. Why won't they let me? They've got one, what do they call it? AIP, maybe? Maybe it's a different version. Maybe that's why I'm running into I had researched these things a while ago. Well, it looks like that's the only one they've got. It's the only one they're showing. Let's see. I think the one I have is the GL XE300. EG25G. Yeah, I think that sounds right. Bill, whenever I came back after Hamvention, I looked into this, and I think you and I had chatted about the fact that they have those 3 different versions. Oh, you know what? So let me go to this store. I'm going to change the store. And let me look up the pulley. I went to a different geographic store, and let's see. Oh, I thought maybe if I changed the store, it would give me a different version. Somewhere I had come across the fact that they have multiple versions of this thing. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. All right, so we got 2 different versions here at least. EG25G. So, Bill, you think this is the one that you've got? Go back up here to specs. Doesn't show me the networks. You know what? Maybe I found it in the documentation. That doesn't look like it. So let's see what the other one is. This one's a little cheaper. This is the AF. This is the Americas and FirstNet version. I remember that. Okay, so I'm not losing my marbles. There are different versions. So if you're a FirstNet person, you may want this one. If you're somebody who travels internationally, you likely want this one. Wish I could find the detail on it though. Wait, let's see what this is. Ah, here we go. Okay. So North America and FirstNet. Boy, it was difficult to find this, wasn't it? So here you got the XE300 AF, North America and FirstNet. The dash E, South Korea, Thailand, India. AU, Latin America, Australia, New Zealand. Just the A, North America. And then they got this E, EMEA, APAC, Brazil, but they're not showing, that's interesting, they're not showing the G version. I thought there was, right, here's all the different networks that you can work on. So, Bill, do you know which one of these you've got? Oh, let's see. All right. It's been fun. Oh, Frank, thanks for hanging out. Merry Christmas. If I don't see you, and we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you later. Good luck at the swim meet there, Wes. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Appreciate it. EG25G. All right. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you here. Gosh, we might get one in before the end of the year. If not, we'll see you on the other side. I don't know if the Kali XSIM I have is FirstNet. Yeah, that would be interesting to know. So, Bill, I'm gonna hold off on a recommendation for the actual version until we get a little clarity there, because I don't know. Let's see. See, this says the global version. I think this is the one that you want, because I think this is America's. Let's see if we can find it somewhere here. US, EU, and UK. Yeah, we had already found that. This is the winner right here. And if I'm almost positive, based on our last conversation, I can go back, I'm sure, and find it in Discord, Bill. I'll bet you I can find it. I bet you I can put my hand on it pretty quick. Because I want to get mine ordered. Kicking myself. I wish I would have ordered it whenever it was on sale, but I just wasn't quite ready. I thought for sure it was in. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, the GL XE300 EG25G. Yeah, that's the global version. That's the one you want. Unless you're FirstNet. For you folks that may be FirstNet, you may want the AF version. So this is, I'm gonna, I'm gonna make sure. I want to see if I still have it in my cart. All right, I do. Let me see. Oh, I've got the FirstNet version. Yeah, so I've got the wrong one in my cart. I want this one. This one wasn't available for the longest time. All right, so I got to go into my browser where I'm logged in as me. I'm going to put one of these in my cart. And let's see, this is the GLINet GL XE300 pulley. Okay, is this it here? 119 global version. Add to cart. And let's see. Holy moly, I'm going to get it Monday, supposedly. Allegedly. We'll get it Monday. Okay, let me... Yeah. So I'll drop this in the chat if anyone is interested. If not, that's okay too. I'm going to also put it in the description. Put it in there so you guys have it. Whoop. If that's something you're interested in, I'm going to get one ordered, and yeah, looking forward to getting that set up. Okay. I'm going to go back here now, and let's see if hey, I'm verified. Woohoo! All right. So that's cool. Networks, request address. Here's all the IP4 networks. I'm just curious. I'm going to take a look. Bottom 2/3, top third. What's that all about? Well, let's look. Okay, these are kind of service-based. We've got some countries. Okay, so they just have services, states, and countries broken into these different CIDRs. Hey, there's Texas. So, okay, so we can see let's see if we can see what folks are using this for. Experimental, a Linux gateway, Linux RMS gateway. Why do we have some Kentucky in there? That threw me a little bit. Deep East Texas. Kerrville. Got somebody in Fort Worth. RRF. I don't think I know that call. Just seeing if I know anybody here, if I recognize any call signs. Interesting. Okay. Oh, there you go, Bill. Don't ask me about those pages. They got sick of me and my tickets when I was going through that process. Well, that just tells me that the process wasn't good enough yet, Bill. Let's see here. I'm just kind of curious. Okay. Just looking around a little bit. I got IPv6 stuff as well. These addresses are horrible. Okay. All gateways. So these are regional gateways. So these are people that are set up to, they're kind of on ramps to 44net. People that have been set up as gateways. Okay, request addresses. IPv4, that's what I would want. Select intended use case. All right, do you remember what you requested, Bill? IP tunnel mesh. General address assignment. See, that ham WAN and hamnet, I think those are those gateways that we just looked at a second ago. Some Arden stuff, general address assignment, radio, globally unique space. I mean, how do you know which one of these to... Hillbilly, thanks for hanging out, Dave. Appreciate it, buddy. Merry Christmas to you. Looking forward to see you on the other side. Thanks for hanging out. Radio Electronics Hub, welcome. We are looking at the ARDC, their new AmperNet portal for requesting access to 44net and for requesting IP space in 44net. So this is a free service that's available to all hams, and it's something I've had a interest in learning more about for quite some time, and I'm finally taking the plunge to set up an account, and I'm going to request some address space so that we can use it for some different uses and purposes. So that's kind of the high level overview. I do know they only want you to request the maximum you need and will use. Yeah, that makes sense. Bill, did they give you a single IP? Or did they give you like 4? Do you recall? I wonder if this would be applicable for my radio project. Radio Electronics Hub, this is suitable for anything related to radio. That's kind of their stipulation, right? They say this is free for use for the purposes of radio and radio experimentation. So if you've got a non-commercial use case that has to do with radio or furthers radio in any way, that's really what this is for, right? If you need a public IP, they've got a lot of IP space, and they're handing that out to radio amateurs. Let's see if I can find. So we've made the request. We've got we've got approved, our account was verified, our ham license was verified. Now we're to the point where we're ready to request some address space, and I'm trying to understand what the options are. Oh, it looks like maybe if you select a type, maybe the next form gives us some information. So let's see, IP tunnel. What's that? Is that for tunneling like 44 net traffic over the internet? I think so. Don't think that's what I want. Yeah, that's a great application, Radio Electronics Hub. That's exactly what this is for. No, that's okay, Bill. You have two different points of access. I mean, my guess is you have more than a single IP, is my guess. So I'm going to say general address assignment, and let's see if it gives me. So this is only, it's defaulting to a single address. I can't change this here. See, well, let me go back a step. Oh, let's see what the help tells us. Please select the primary use case for the address you're requesting. If you're planning on announcing the assignment over BGP, then you must select Direct Announce. If you have multiple use cases planned for the assignment or are unsure which option to choose and BGP is not an option for you, then select the general address assignment. That's kind of what I was thinking. I'm just curious if any of these, no, they're not preloading with anything unique. Let's see if they're putting them in different CIDRs. This is 4463. 4430, they certainly are. Radio, 4461. You'll need to get assigned an AS number if you want. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that, Tim. I'm seeing if these different use cases populate this form any differently. I mean, they're using different parent addresses for different services, which isn't surprising. They're defaulting to a single IP, it looks like, for any service. Did you already make your request, Tim? If you did, what did you request? Yeah, Morgan, I hear you. I was thinking I could probably get away with a /29, which I think is just 4, right? 4 usable /29. Yeah, I think that's a slash. 29 gives you 4 usable. Let's see, I may want, I think 4 is probably plenty. You haven't requested anything yet. Okay. Let me go back and see if there's any guidance here in this. All right, requesting address space. Okay, if you select IP tunnel mesh, radio, globally unique, or general address as your use case, you'll see a dialog box entitled Request IP Assignment. Fill out the requested IT assignment box with the required information. Okay, didn't tell me anything. Here's the BGP. They're going to want to know who's going to be advertising your ASN, all that stuff. We don't want that. Selecting any of the below use cases will give you a dialog box for more info on the network. Requesting address space via the network list. All right, so you can just make a request and then let the admins put you where they think you belong. Or you can pick via the address list itself. Not sure what the benefit of that would be. Let's just take a look though. Address space. I'm just looking for Texas again. There it is. I don't see the little request address space next to it like they're showing in the documentation. Maybe you can't do that in all cases. All right, let's see if this is more. Fill out the request IP assignment dialog box. So here we're back to the ticket. All right, that's after you have. All right, so I don't see anything necessarily in there that gives us a hint. Let's ask Google. I don't know if they're going to know this. I'll be impressed if they know anything about this here. Okay. Most common address space is IPv4. Typically smaller subnets within a larger block. Yeah. Common request size. Handled by local and regional coordinators. Individual amateur radio operators typically request single addresses or smaller subnets. Well, of course, the size can vary. Wanting to join, common request is within, but it doesn't say for how many IPs. All right, let's see if we got anything in the FAQ. See, I want to learn some more about how they're doing radio links. You can get your own third level domain. So that's cool. I don't see what I'm looking for there. See if they talk about this at all. Bill's a /28. So, well, that's pretty nice. Let's grab an IP calculator real quick. I don't see the one I normally use. What is it called? Tunnels Up, I think. Yeah. 28, you say? Well, that's pretty generous. It gives you 14 usable. That's very generous. I'm going to request a /28. Thanks, Bill. I'm kind of surprised. What's a 29? That's what I was kind of expecting. That's 6, yeah. So we'll do 28. That's pretty generous. Okay. Network request. I'm going to say general address assignment. I'm going to say give me a /28. Title and description. We'll follow kind of what we saw prior. Okay. I'm going to agree to the EULA. Thank you for your request. Okay, so now we should have another ticket, I'm guessing. Yep. Cool. Let's see. What are your plans for this? So my plans aren't necessarily hard fast at this point. I do want to set up a portable router that allows me to connect to the 44 net while I am on the road. I will likely set up a tunnel here from my home network to 44 net. There are some services that, let's see if we can find some of those. Let's see. I want to see if anything changed here. List of LOT. There is a supposedly, now I say supposedly because, you know, anytime you do a Google search these days, some AI is sticking its nose in the search and giving you some unsolicited potential context. But in some of my investigations, I had made a note that there is there's a kind of a telnet-based chat service that is only open to 44net participants. And so I'm curious to check that out. And it can use old IRC clients, telnet or IRC clients, to access it. And so, you know, it's, in one hand, that's just kind of nostalgic. It's been a long time since I've been on IRC. But it would be interesting to see how, you know, is that being used? Is it something that's just out there that doesn't get taken advantage of? So that's one thing I'm interested in. I'm interested in, you know, one of the use cases I see people using 44net for is extending or using it for AllStar and using it as an AllStar gateway. So I think that has some interesting potential. I'm just looking at some of the searches I had done on my phone here over a period of time. So, you know, I think there's it's experimentation more so than anything else. Bill, someone will contact you and ask about your plans for the addresses. You'll probably be able to articulate way better than I did. Well, that's good to know. You know, look, all my interactions with the ARDC have been fantastic. I'm really a big fan. I mean, and how can you be in radio and not be a big fan when you see the amount of money that they pump into projects? I mean, you know, this is an organization that really does what they say they're going to do. I mean, it's really remarkable the amount of support that they provide to the ham radio community. And so, you know, if I can do just a little bit to help promote the good work that they do, I'm gonna do that. There's just, I want to try to support those folks in any way I can. Very active group. It is a extremely active groups.io, Bill. It's to the point where I've got to silence it on occasion. It's so busy. That's why I'm really curious, right? They've got this groups.io thing. I'm really curious. And all of a sudden I can't find that any further. WWConverse. Let's see if we can learn anything about that. That's the service. Let's just do a blind search for that and see if anything comes up. Absolutely butkus. All right, so this may be a hallucination, an AI hallucination. I don't know. I don't want to Okay, let's see. Who knows? Maybe they got the name wrong. Let's see. Oh, yes, there is. Users to connect and join various chat channels. Yeah, so, right, so I think this looks pretty cool. Again, little nostalgic, bit of a throwback. But it looks like you've got a couple of different gateway addresses. WWCon, maybe that's where that came from. Centralized chat server with multiple channels. Have you ever connected to that, Bill? I think I asked you that before already. My understanding is they only accept connections from the 44 network. So I don't think I've got a Telnet client loaded on this machine. Not too often that you need a Telnet client any longer. Yeah, I don't. Let me see. I've got something else that'll work. Let's see. Let me try Putty. I am almost positive that it's not going to let me connect. If it does, by some miracle, I will share this out so you guys can see this. Yeah. But yeah, so my connection was reset by peer. So there's something out there. That something just said, go away, sucker. So, yeah, so I'm interested in checking that out. Yeah, I don't know if you can look at this without, again, I'm in my private session here. But this thing gets a lot of traffic, generally speaking. But yeah, I'm going to have to go in and re-enable this. I guess they don't give you a way to opt out of your cookies. Those buggers. I mean, I've got some groups that I hardly, well, there's, 1,400 members here too. 125 topics. So I'm probably, I silenced this a while back because, oh my gosh, it just, this thing goes in spurts. There's times when it just goes and goes and goes. I'm curious here. You have any updates? Tim, did you make a request? Are you still out there, Gray Man? Unassigned. I don't think anyone's going to pick that up tonight. Especially if this dude was in 4 land. Hey, Jason, welcome. We're checking out the ARDC's new AmperNet portal. They just launched this in early December, I think December 2nd, maybe. And we talked a little bit earlier about the ARDC and 44net. This is a portal that allows you to join the 44net and make a request for some IP space that you can use for radio experimentation. So this gives you a handful of public IPs that you can use for anything related to radio experimentation. So WV3V had to switch channels. I'm not sure what that means, but we're glad you're here. Welcome. So one of the use cases is going to be using some of these IPs along with a little portable router. This is a battery battery-based router, portable router that you can use to run various VPN software. So you can use this device to connect to 44net when you're on the road. So that's one of the use cases that I'm going to be setting up. And you know, the other thing I want to do is, let's see, member pages. Okay, here's some member pages. Let's just do a little exploration. MQTT server for ham radio services. I like it. I like it already. So that's cool. So I just stood up an MQTT server. I stood mine up in AWS, and I'm using a service that includes the IP address, but I should look at transitioning that to a different service and hosting it with one of these 44net IPs and see if it's cheaper. Adam's who you worked with. Okay. Yeah, I think that's who kind of gave you the suggestion on the device, maybe Bill, and then we walked through just a little bit of the configuration, and boom, we had it up and running. How do you get an ISP to route to 44 IPs? So, I mean, you're going to have to find. So first of all, cloud, the various cloud services will do that. You can onboard your own IPs, I know, to AWS. I'm sure you can do it to GCP and Azure as well. So that's a thing. If you're going to have a non-cloud service route that stuff for you, then you're going to have to set up, that's where you have to go into some more detail. You have to go into some more, that's why I think that ticket is a separate ticket type. They want to know who's going to be routing that. ARDC says that they'll provide a certificate of ownership of the IP to the ISP, so that typically that's required. They want to see that before they'll start routing it. They want to make sure that that you own that IP. before they agree to route that. So yeah, I don't think that's the common use case, Dawn. I think that is an edge use case. I'm sure there are some folks that are using that and doing that, but I don't think that's common. I think what's likely more common is people using those IPs within something like AWS. Okay. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. So this is neat, right? This could be, well, could be a rabbit hole here, certainly. Just going through these member pages to see what types of services people have set up. Now let's see if this is only accessible on 44net. My understanding is that several services, this one's internet accessible, so that's cool. So this ham is hosting his personal radio website with a 44net address. So that's cool. I think that's a use case that a lot of people can relate to. This is a test of the amazing new Amper portal. Someone just trying to figure it out. Yeah, I think there's likely some stuff to be learned just by viewing some of these pages. You can get a third level domain, right? So you can get your callsign.amper.org. I think that's what I'm going to set up. I'm going to set one of those up, I believe. And I'll link to some of my 44net projects there. Let's see what this individual has here. Not secure. Okay, let's see here. Just going to check a few more. Please see my QRZ page for personal. I'm announcing BGP. Vulture. I don't know what that is. Interesting. Yeah, this is, you could definitely burn some time here. Web pages at, not all are routed to the wider internet. 33 and 34 are. Okay. The west coast of Ireland. Oh, did I not grab that? I thought I did. Yeah, I'm not expecting that to be. There he is, getting ready to climb his tower. Let's see how to build a multi-band vertical. Death of a Trojan. Radio-related links. Let's see, do we have a date on here? 25, okay. Got a low band contester. That's stash all your certificates there. right? You can do whatever you want with it as long as it's radio related. That's the point. Dawn, this one here I thought was pretty neat. I don't know if you saw this or not, but this guy stood up an MQTT server. He's got some APRS. I don't know, what is this? This is just some documentation, I guess. DMR last heard. Not sure what that stuff is either. And he's dumping some cluster stuff. Maybe this stuff's all coming through his MQTT. That would make sense. So I wonder how many, I mean, what did we see? We saw quite a few members. There aren't that many members. Well, I guess they all maybe haven't. There's got to be more than this, right? There's got to be, right? If we look at this world map, if we're to believe these are all members, I would certainly expect, still going, I would certainly expect to see more pages out there. Did you do any Meteor scatter? Yeah, I did some last weekend. I did some Saturday night. I had Josh's stream going on in the background, and I got some local guys. I don't think that was Meteor scatter though. I was getting pings. You know, I was seeing people show up. I was seeing people show up that I wouldn't normally see, right? On 6 meters at 10 o'clock at night or whatever. I think I made 6 contacts that I believe were Meteor scatter contacts. And that's off this, this lousy end-fed half wave that I had. So, with without even having any gain or directional antenna, I was able to do that. I'm trying to think. I think my furthest contact was maybe Missouri. So I think I can't remember if it was 5 or 6, but it may have been 5, with a couple. I had a couple guys that were close, right? 5 calls that were pretty close. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense, Don. Yeah, I didn't make a lot. But I made a number of 6 meter and 10 meter contacts earlier in the day. On Saturday afternoon, I made a pile of 6 meter and 10 meter contacts, but they weren't Meteor scatter. They were just regular RF contacts. Nice. Yeah, I was able to see, I don't know how I know Josh was characterizing them in one way. I don't remember what they are. I thought of them as like flares. I would see like these flares, on the, I don't even know what that's called. That, it's not a waterfall, but you know what I mean. But I didn't have huge flares, right? I would just see small flares, and that's when I was able to make those contacts. I would love to have had something with some gain on it. Yeah, that, I mean, it's such a crazy idea when you think about it, right? I mean, I just love the concepts, right? The concepts of like rain scatter contacts and, um, making contacts off of, um, a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. I mean, that's just crazy. That's just the coolest stuff. Nice. Don, hopefully you were able to record some of that stuff. Yeah, those plasma streaks. There you go. I was calling them flares, but yeah, plasma streaks. There it is. I was glad that on the Friday night stream that we set that up because I was pretty much ready to go. Oh, I'll have to go back and look at that, Dawn. Cool. Dawn, earlier we looked at we took a look at TinyGS stuff. We hadn't talked about that a ton, but we took a look at that. My station's running pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm consistently over 500, getting a lot of 600s. Had a couple of days around 700, almost getting into the 800. So I'm definitely pretty happy with that. I keep watching for more information on Cornell's next project. So looking forward to what they're going to do there. Yeah, I know you mentioned that. You mentioned that last week. Mine was down because I screwed mine up when I was trying to reconfigure it while I was in Vegas, but I got it back up. Now, what I had to do is I had to delete. So I lost, what I have, a couple of weeks worth of history on my first original setup. I deleted that. I had to delete that. I couldn't get that going again. So I just created a fresh one. I ended up deleting that and creating a fresh one. I'm sure there was some way to recover it, but I was tired of messing with it. So I said, all right, it's time to make the change. Yeah, the other thing I'm wondering, Tim, on yours, I'm wondering, so I've got short coax on mine. That's exactly what I've got on mine. My coax is, I think it's 12 inches, maybe 18 inches. And then I've got a long USB. I've got like a 16-foot USB. 10, 15 inches. Yeah, that's probably fine then. Yeah. I wonder if your filter is directional. Did you try turning it, flipping it, and see if that made a difference? You have to shoot me over which filter you used. You used the coax that came with the antenna, 12 feet or so. Yeah, see, I didn't. I used, I swapped that out. I swapped that out with a little Mine's 18 inches. That's exactly what it is. I wanted the 12-inch one, but I couldn't. It wasn't available at the time I ordered it, so I got the 18-inch one. But that's been a fun project. I'm just going to leave her up and let her roll until I hear of another balloon going up. Then I think I'll swap it over to the radio sonde. I don't know how you say that. I think it's sonde, radio sonde. The filter has directional connectors. Yeah, sometimes those are counterintuitive. I'm trying to remember which one we were playing with. But I was playing with one filter and it was counterintuitive. What I thought worked, what I thought was logical didn't work. I had to flip it and then it worked. But yours probably has different connectors. I see what you're saying. Directional connectors, not directional markings. I'm with you now. First Christmas viewing of Die Hard is done. Congratulations, Ted. You're the envy of the chat. I haven't got mine in yet. Have not got mine in yet. All right, let's see. So I don't think I'm going to be able to go any further. Let me see if there's anything else out here to look at just real quick. What do you do here? You put in, lat longs. It tells you the distance between them. Okay. Got some different maps, more conversions. Okay. DMS to lat long. Got it. Lat long to Maidenhead. Okay. Let's see here. I'm wondering what other services or how you find out about the other services. I mean, like that chat. How would you find out about that chat? If I didn't stumble across that, how would I have known that that chat is a service that's available? I mean, I guess you could, there may be other things in here. There's got to be like a directory of services somewhere. Let's see. Apply for a grant, wiki, terms of service. I'm not seeing anything there. Oh, so that's 10 to 15 feet. Yeah, that did come with the antenna, Tim. Yeah, definitely get a smaller piece of antenna for sure. You might be picking up all kinds of noise. Who knows? Yeah, EOD, they, here, let me, over here in my store, we'll see if, let's see. Yeah, see, these things come with, I think it's 15 feet, maybe. Where's the one I used? This is the one I used. And let's see. This is the one right here, 1.6. This one wasn't available whenever I was making my purchase. So I went up to the 1.64 feet one. That's the one I'm using. So, I mean, you might want to try a smaller one. You know, at the time, this was kind of the cheapest, maybe not the cheapest, but the felt like it was a decent price. I didn't think it was $10, but maybe it was. I was thinking it was $8, maybe. We see a price history on this thing. Not that it matters. It's just I'm curious more than anything. I don't see the history button. But anyhow, that's the one I'm using. That guy right there. Oh, one other thing I'll mention just super quick. I had somebody, so I just, you guys may have seen, I released a review video today. This guy here for this Elecro ThinkNode M1. I put a link in here for Elecro. It's an affiliate link, but it's sold out right now. Someone had asked me about that in one of the comments. Oh, where's it at? And I wanted to let you guys know that Matt has them. If this is something that you're interested in, Matt has them over in his store. So if you're wanting to get your hands on it, he's got them already in the US. I think this wasn't showing sold out. So I just wanted to pass that on to you guys. Matt's a good dude. He's doing good work. I don't have an affiliate link for any of his stuff, but he's the kind of guy you want to support. So certainly if you guys are looking for one of those, that's a good source right now when they're sold out. And that is free shipping too. I think anything on his site over $50 is free shipping. I'm pretty sure. Because I was checking this before. Now I've got 2 in there. I don't want 2